or you can use Bondo to fill the holes. Reference print E41-2000 doors. Doors and stiffeners as received from Rotorway. Small parts and hardware for the doors can be located on E41 card 1F. Cut several pieces of 3/16 inch thick cardboard into 1-inch wide strips and tape them to the inside door openings. The cardboard will provide the clearance needed between the door stiffener and the body when opening and closing the door. Check the fit of the door stiffener tied against the cardboard. It may be necessary to cut the stiffener and/or remove a piece to make it fit. Mark and trim where the stiffener will butt together. Use masking tape to hold in place. Hold the plexiglass door against the stiffener so that it extends beyond the stiffener all the way around the door. Use masking tape to hold in place. Lay out the location of the rivet holes around the door with a felt tip pen. The rivets will be 2 inches apart and centered on the stiffener. Place a thin piece of sheet stock between the stiffener and the body panel when drilling to prevent damage to the body panel. Drill the 1/8 inch holes using a plexiglass drill bit and install the clecos. When all the holes are drilled, remove the door and stiffener. Use a felt tip pen to outline both sides of the stiffener. Remove the plexiglass from the stiffener and trim to the outside line. Use a grinding wheel and sandpaper to trim the edge. Peel back and remove about 1 inch or 2 of the protective film from the edge of the plexiglass door. Use an air nozzle to help remove this thin material. Countersink the holes in the plexiglass for the head of the pop rivets. Builder tooltip. Use a microstop to countersink these holes. Use 220 grit sandpaper to sand about a 1-inch edge of the plexiglass inside where it mates with the stiffener. Wipe clean with acetone. Sand the stiffener smooth inside and out and clean with acetone. Prepare some resin and the catalyst and apply a coat on the edge of the plexiglass door and the stiffener where they will be bonded. Place the stiffener on the plexiglass and install the pop rivets. If you have a seam, lay a couple pieces of glass material to reinforce the joint. Allow the resin to cure. Use the stem of a rivet and tap out the head of the rivets as shown. Then file or grind the end of the pop rivets flush with the stiffener. Cut a piece of plexiglass and smooth the edges to fit against the stiffener and door, or cut a piece off a Bondo squeegee. Use this piece to apply Bondo in the corner where the door and stiffener meet, as demonstrated here. Here is a look at the desired finish when painted. Fill the gap between the fiberglass and the stiffener of the outside edge with Bondo. When painted, the edge will look like this. Use template E41-1 and E41-2 when fabricating the door hinges and latches. Drill the holes where indicated, then cut out the parts. Then the door latches were indicated on the templates. Remember, there will be a pilot and passenger side latch, so they must be opposite. Reference the construction print. Draw a line parallel to the bottom of the door, 7 inches from the bottom edge. This will be the location of the bolt to hold the lower hinge to the door. Install only one cleco in the lower hinge. Refer to construction print E41-2000 for hinge and stall strip location. The print shows the top hinge bolt hole should be 17 inches from the bottom hole. Drill only one hole and cleco in place. The stall strip should be installed on center between the bolt holes and riveted in place with 6 evenly spaced rivets. Countersink the holes before installing the rivets. Before painting, cover the rivets and blend the stall strip to the door with Bondo to form a smooth aerodynamic surface at the leading edge and at the top and bottom. Drill out the cleco hole with a 3/16 inch drill bit and countersink the hole. Install the countersink bolt in each hinge to hold the hinge to the door. Bolt the two parts of the hinge together. Place the cardboard around the door opening. Hold the door in the opening and drill one hole in each of the hinges on the doorpost. Open the door. If the hinges do not try to move, they are in alignment. Drill the remaining holes. Cleco and install the bolts. Reference the construction print to locate the position of the door latches. Mark the positions and remove the doors. Place the bent latch on the spacer. Position the latch so the bend clears the door stiffener. Make sure before you drill the hole for the bolt to rotate the latch to verify the clearance between the latch and stiffener. Note: it may be necessary to trim the fiberglass around the door opening to achieve the desired fit around the latches. The weather stripping is used on the doors as gasket material and should not be installed until after the doors have been painted. Now reinstall the doors without the cardboard strips. Locate and cut the slots in the floor pan for the bottom latch. Cut out and rivet in place a piece of 50 thousandths aluminum around the slit as a wear plate. Note the rear door latch uses a pen through the door for outside locking. Note: it's best not to remove the protective film from the doors until after all the work and painting is finished. At this point, the body has been assembled and fitted with only minor details remaining. Zeus fasteners and nut plates should be installed in all panels. Complete the following as the body is disassembled for painting. Cut an opening in each of the side air scoops as shown. Leave about a 1/4 inch lip around the edge of the opening to provide stiffness. Cut out the opening of the air intake scoop in the bottom of the tub. Leave a slight lip about a 1/4 inch around the opening for stiffness. After the windscreen has been completely fitted, remove it from the ship. Okay. With the windscreen inverted on a table, mark a line 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the windscreen all the way around. This line is for reference when masking. Peel back the protective coating from the edge and trim it with scissors. Use caution so as not to scratch the plexiglass. With tape, mask off 3/4 of an inch from the outside edge of the windscreen edge all the way around. In the lower front corners of the windscreen, cut pieces of fiberglass cloth and fit them so that there will be a small radius in those corners. Do the same for the upper corners. Cut to length strips of the supplied 1-inch fiberglass cloth. Sand the surface of the plexiglass and then clean with acetone. Place the strips of fiberglass cloth on a clean surface and saturate it with resin. Apply a coat of resin to the sanded edges of the windscreen. Place the cloth around the edges of the windscreen, allowing the edge to overhang. You may need to make a relief cut on some of the curves. When the resin hardens, trim off the overhang with a razor knife or a right-angled die grinder. Use caution to not remove any plexiglass when grinding. Note: if a smooth surface is desired, apply a thin covering of Bondo on the reinforced cloth and sand smooth before painting. Re-drill all the windscreen screw holes with a 5/32 inch drill. Recommended using a drill bit designed for plexiglass. Finish sanding the edge with 100 grit sandpaper. Sand and polish the seam on the top of the instrument pod.